It's Metroid Prime. Welcome back. Trevor wants to tell us a story, so we're gonna listen to his little story before we talk about other things. Go.
West Philadelphia, born and raised on the... No,
That's a song. That's not a story.
Okay.
I guess it's both, actually, but you know.
Yeah, so in last episode, I was talking about my terrible Star Wars fan fiction that I wrote in a delirious state of sick, as a joke to irritate the other people at writing group. Well, not irritate, more to enlighten them. I was being playfully goofy. Anyways, and I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. But anyways, here's the story. This is it's my Star Wars fan fiction. I hope you enjoy it. Ever since World War IV, Kurt lived on a small island in Jakarta. He was partially responsible for the war. Well, he could have stopped it. He should have stopped it. But it didn't really matter. Society had crumbled. There were mutants that feasted on normal human flesh, roaming what was once China. Europe was now completely under the control of the collective, and the nanomasters were now all but gone. I'm sorry. Wow, I was really like when I get sick, I get borderline stoned. All right. Anyways, moving forward, Australia had become a cesspool of scum and villainy. But let's face it, it was always that way. And we played what was that game? Defender of the Crown. That's from Australia. That was proof enough of it. And if the cat people wanted it, Kurt didn't really care, even if it had become the island of Dr. Bro. It was weird though. It felt as if the entire island of Madagascar had recently been teleported into the moon, according to his nanite sensors. That kind of worried him. What Kurt really cared about, though, was he knew out there was a boy. Well, a man now. A man genetically engineered and nanitically infused to topple the collective was going to be seeing him soon. You see, Kurt couldn't see the future, but he did program the nanites in Felix. And he programmed to search for Kurt when he knew his time had come. And it was time to train Felix. Time to teach him the ways of nanomancy. Oh man, this is great. This is some grade A stuff here. Kurt, of course, had been preparing his cave for months now, with weights and rope swings and an obstacle course. He had been brushing up on his reading and teaching programs, hoping to remember all the things he taught, hoping to remember the ways he used to teach before World War IV, hoping he could teach Felix to save mankind from the collective's clutches. Excuse me.
The collective crotches?
Clutches. Shut up, you! Now you can interrupt whenever you feel like. It's fine. This is, even if Felix was High Prefix Jones' own son. James Earl Jones. Alright, anyways, Kurt decided to take a stroll across his island. It was a beautiful island, filled with Komodo dragons and other dangerous creatures, but Kurt's nanites helped him have mastery over them all. He had recently sent out a message to ensure they wouldn't hurt any humans unless provoked, but would rather warn him of their arrival. This was just in case. "What is that in my waterfall?" Kurt yelled out loud while cursing and shouting and waving his cane around. Apparently someone crashed a helicopter into his favorite waterfall. The survivor didn't hear Kurt, but instead was, a good 50 feet away, talking to a small sentient plant companion. Okay, so now Felix, is talking. "Look, Saguaro." I'm gonna go with my strong bad anime voice. "Look, Saguaro, I know the ship is in flames. I know we're both organic life forms, but you can resist temperatures up to 7 times that of human due to your genetic sequencing. So I need you to go back in there and salvage the data core and get the other perishable items." Saguaro, of course, responds. Felix: "You'll be fine. You regenerate like those little stories of superheroes. Anything goes wrong, I'll put you in a nice pot, water you once a week, make sure no scorpions poo on you, no vultures sit on you, I'll get you some nice shiny rocks." Saguaro, of course, responds. The small prickly cactus squid-like monster then descends into the pool of water, swimming across towards the helicopter. Unfortunately, mid-route, a giant trap Kurt had set descends upon him. A robotic snake set to eat humans and cat people alike decides Saguaro looks too suspicious not to inspect. Before Saguaro can reach the other side of the pool, he is violently pulled under. Saguaro screams out. Felix is all like, no! Felix begins to pull out his firearm and aim it at the water. But as he aims at where he thinks the mechanical beast is, an unexpected thing happens. Saguaro comes jettisoning out of the water straight at Felix. And that's what I was able to write in 30 minutes. I had a 30-minute writing prompt. And I'll try to find the writing prompt on my phone. Brent, what do you think of that story?
I had no idea what was going on the entire time other than World War III, something about robots. That's all I got. It sure was a story, Trevor. It was beautiful.
It sure was. So basically that's Empire Strikes Back. Like when they're in the swamp, like Luke and R2-D2.
Uh-huh.
And Felix is Luke, Saguaro is R2-D2, and Kurt is Yoda.
Okay.
And that's my interpretation of Empire Strikes Back as World War IV survivors.
All right.
And instead of midichlorians, we have nanites.
Nanomachines, son. Do you know that meme?
No, I don't know.
It's from the Metal Gear games.
Oh, you know what? I've never really played the Metal Gear games. I've
I have
briefly
not
played
either.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I haven't played any of them either.
Okay, let me find the writing prompt real quick. I have it on my phone. This was the writing prompt. A man in his 80s who is very anxious is the main character. A man in his early 30s who is very spontaneous. The story begins in a cave. Someone is tormented by the memory of a dead family member. It's a story about betrayal. Your character has to make some difficult compromises in order to succeed. I looked at that and I thought, that sounds kind of like Star Wars.
Yeah, you sure were delirious writing that story.
So that's my story. I believe that is one of the greatest stories ever written. And it's at least Phantom Menace level good.
I'd say it's probably better than Phantom Menace, actually.
Well, thank you. Well, the bar's pretty low there. What about Attack of the Clones?
Definitely better than Attack of the Clones. That has the worst writing.
Wait,
Attack of the Clones, yeah.
that the second one?
Yeah, where he's like, I don't like sand.
I
It's
hate
rough
sand,
and it gets
yeah.
everywhere.
See, I liked that one better than the Phantom Menace, but
It was like maybe, other than the writing, it was better.
oh, can you elaborate on what that sentence means? I'm not sure.
Other than the lines of dialogue they spoke, like, I guess the overall plot was better. And also,
okay.
also there were no, like, kids.
There were no kids.
I mean, I'm fine with kids. It's just not in my Star Wars movies. No.
You know who some really good child actors are? Thinking the kids from I know like this is probably not news to most people, but thinking what's that show? Stranger Things, man. Those are some good child actors. Like it's hard to get good child actors. That's all I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
that show is amazing. If you get a chance to watch it, pretty good.
Yeah, I heard it was good. Well, what exactly is it about?
What is it?
Yeah, what exactly is it?
Well, I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but I'll say it's a lot like if E.T. and Fringe kind of merged together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I love Fringe. I hate E.T. It's not even a good movie. I don't know what.
Well,
I don't know what you guys are all on.
Well, okay. Here's
was
what I
not a
mean. The
great movie.
cinematography is a lot like E.T., and the setting, as far as it takes place, like in the '80s, like E.T.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and
That sounds
it has that kind of like there's kids and stuff and friendship and all that crap, but it has a lot of. But the plot, in a lot of ways, is a lot like Fringe in some ways, and
Okay.
it has a yeah. So I mean, comparing it to Fringe isn't exactly right, but if it's
Yeah.
like I don't know exactly.
It's kind of like how people compare Fringe to like X-Files, and I'm like, it's kind of like that, but not really.
Well, I would say it's more like Fringe than X-Files.
Yeah.
I will say that much. It's more like Fringe. It is more like Fringe than Fringe is like X-Files, but not a lot like Fringe completely. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the entirety of Fringe?
No.
Oh,
I enjoyed what I saw. I just never really got around to watching the entirety of it.
Yeah, the entire thing is really good. It's one of those rare shows that like they actually finished the show when they wanted to finish it instead of like their network either canceling it or saying this is popular, make like 5 more seasons that aren't good.
Yeah.
You know? They got that magical like middle ground where it just turned out like perfect.
I wish they would go back and redo Babylon 5 that way.